I am the big tank.
On the battlefield of life, nothing's harder than a tank. Yeah, have you ever met a man, hearts full of love, bigger than a tank?
Big tank.
He served in a few wars, he's a veteran that stands for a cause. For the best interviews and news, just keep it glued to the tank.
I am the tank, big tank.
BigTank Talk.
Tank.
BigTank Talk.
Tank. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of BigTank Talk. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing to you AmyBeautifulDisaster86. Amy, welcome to BigTank Talk.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
It's an honor to have you here. The first question is always the same. Tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be on Clapper.
Ooh, a little bit about me is I am weird. I'm a workaholic. As most people know, I'm always working, and I try to persevere and push through a lot of mental illness. I am a very devoted wife. I'm a cat mom. I'm also a stepmom, which some people may not know. I'm a stepmom of two. And how did I become on Clapper? Well, that's kind of easy. Back initially when TikTok said that they were going to leave, I was looking for another fun app. I didn't really have like a niche, or I just did what everybody else was doing on TikTok, like stupid songs and dances and things like that. And then I came over here to Clapper and I was like, oh crap, people actually want to know about me. So, which completely changed everything that I share. And it has been eye-opening for me, and kind of just been like a journal of me. So Clapper is my home. I don't even mess with TikTok anymore.
Same here. Now I have to ask you the first question out of the gate, other than the original first. What makes someone a beautiful disaster?
Oh, anybody's a beautiful disaster. I feel like we're all a disaster in our own way. We're all our worst enemy. And then we have people in our lives that really boost us up and say, no, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. And whether you believe it or not, people think that about you. And that's all that matters, is that people believe in you and you're not what you think in your head. Like in my head, I don't believe that I'm pretty or I'm smart or I'm capable and all these other things. And then I have people like
Which you are.
and and then I have people like you and all the friends that I've made here on Clapper and my husband and other people say, no, you are very smart, you are very capable, and you've come so far. So a beautiful disaster is what you wanted.
And that plays into something we'll touch on later in the questions. It has to do with knowing your self-worth, your value. But we'll get back to that. I want to ask you now, Lena just said, in your bio, can you explain what melting pot on your bio means?
Yes, I don't have a niche. As some of you may have watched my videos, I'm all over the place. I share the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So I will share mental health. I'll share cooking stuff. I'll share how to craft something. I'll do little comedy skits. So a melting pot creator is not just one niche. It's just showing you me, which is why I'm still just a vlogger. It's just, you're getting the raw Amy/Amanda.
Not a thing wrong with that. I kind of gotten to know. I know your name is actually Amanda, but you're Amy Beautiful Disaster. Most people will call you Amy.
I love that.
I know you have a lot of videos in which the focus, either directly or indirectly, is mental health. I want to ask this, but I don't want you to have to get into detail explaining it or anything. Do you or have you had PTSD?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you see enough of my content, you know I am a big proponent that PTSD is a real problem that is not well dealt with in our country, particularly for veterans. But I also know PTSD is not just for veterans. It's My daughter, for example, has been diagnosed with PTSD and she was never served. So it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Is that, and I assume that feeds into why good mental health is such an important thing for you.
Oh, most definitely. PTSD or CPTSD plays a huge role in my daily life. Even just going to the grocery store this afternoon is a challenge because of my PTSD. So it's a struggle for real.
Right. Gary, I'm not bringing up other people. This is an interview. You're welcome to stay and listen and even ask questions, but you're not getting a box. Amy, Lena says you're a pro at dealing with negative people. Can you tell us a couple of things? Can you tell us a few things that you do to deal with negative people?
One, I sit on their comment for a little bit because I would tend to internalize it, and then I realized they're just somebody on a phone. So one of the things I joke about was they helped boost my video. They looked at it and they commented. So they helped it reach somebody else that may need to hear it. Another thing is I'll just reply back and say, thanks for the boost. And then to deal with like the mental aspect of it is I'll read it to my husband, who is one of my biggest supporters, I believe. He will reassure me that those things are not true. And then normally I don't have to deal with it a lot. A lot of other people on here will see it and make response videos, which I have been completely blown away about. But the biggest thing is not internalizing it and remembering maybe they're just not having a good day either. So,
as my friend who just came in, Dirty's Midget can attest, personally, trolls, negative people, they don't bother me directly. It's when they go after my friends
right.
that I will go on the attack for that. And usually I'll tell them off and then boot them. Ronan wants to know if you work in the field of mental health.
No, I do not. But I do work in the health field. I should probably look into working in mental health. I've been told that a few times, but yeah, I do work for a hospital. I'm an accountant, kind like I pay the hospital bills. So
That makes sense.
Yep.
I have to ask, because there'll probably be several questions related directly or indirectly to mental health. In your opinion, and I know I'm just asking your opinion. I'm not saying you're a professional or anything. In your opinion, how important is self-love to good mental health?
Oh, it's dire. You have to do it. Have to do it. And I've struggled with that this week, like not wanting. Mother's Day is hard for me, and just taking care of myself this week has been a bit hard. So I've again had a very supportive husband that was like, you need to take care of yourself. And my psychiatrist was even like, you must do something for yourself, and self-care is important, and you need to go out and do something for yourself, whether it's at home or you go to a spa or you get away. Mental
Right.
health and self-care is so important. And I feel like I'm a pot calling the kettle black because I have not been doing that myself lately. But it is, I need to do it more. But self-care is so important. Treating yourself, even when you don't feel like you deserve it, is so important. Whether it's something small, like I'm going to get myself a little piece of candy or splurge on a soft drink, or it could be something big like going get a facial or a massage or a weekend getaway. You must do that for you. And my psychiatrist told me that I have to do self-love trips, getaways, and it's the opportunity of you yourself and you spoiling that inner child didn't get love and spoiled when you were a kid. So it's almost showing yourself the love that you wish you would have got as a child. So that always sticks in the back of my mind.
That absolutely makes sense. And I tend to believe that's something that a lot of us, particularly here on Clapper, because that's where we are at the moment, but in general, a lot of people don't take the time to, in your words, to practice self-care. Self-love is so important, and so many of us that struggle with that. I have to. Dirty Carpenter wants to know, what is your favorite thing to do to decompress?
Oh, it's definitely any type of spa treatment, whether it's at a spa or at home. I love doing like at home spas. Sometimes it's a bath, sometimes it's a shower. They make these little shower steamers that like will smell like a spa, and just like scrubbing off, like doing like an exfoliating. But to me, it feels like I'm scrubbing off all the bad and all the yuck. And then when I get out, I'm like moisturizing and like freshening up. And I just feel so much better when I do that. So like spa, little spa stuff, face masks, even if it's, I do my own nails, which is a great time for me to kind of like decompress, but it also helps bring out my creativity. So
Right on.
anything spa.
Okay, and I have to ask, because you got several videos in which you are just dancing. How important is that for you to help yourself feel better?
Dancing, I do all the time. I'm a goofball around the house. Movement is important. But recording it and posting it is very hard because that's typically when I get the most hate. And they're hating on my biggest insecurities, which is my weight. But yeah, dancing is fun. Just let loose and be you. Even if it's on the countertop, which I just find fun.
Something to keep in mind when people are hating on you, and I get my share of hate on here, so I get it. The majority of the time people are hating on you, they're hating on you because they hate something about themselves. And rather than face that, they strike out at somebody else. Don't take it personal, because I tend to believe that that all of the people that hate on you don't know you. They don't know
Right.
you, then their opinion really doesn't matter.
I would
And
agree.
that, like Ronan says, never mind the haters. They don't pay your bills and provide anything to you. And if their
Exactly.
hate is on a video, it just feeds your algorithm.
Algorithm.
So
Yep.
that means more people will see it. Um, Now, I noticed in going through your content, you have a lot of like theme day, motivational Monday, um, friend Friday, the thing that you mentioned. Do you have a particular theme for every day of the week?
I used to, back when I first started Clapper, I tried to make every day a thing. And then I kind of got tied down to this is my job and this isn't my job. This is my outlet. So I used to have motivational Mondays, tutorial Tuesdays, wacky Wednesdays, supportive Saturdays, or I used to. And I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. So this way I can have more fun on other days instead of being tied down. So even though I have like Friend Friday, that may not be every Friday, but it's most Fridays.
All right, so what inspired you to even start that? Is it something you saw Clapper needed, or just something that was fun for you? Or
A friend of mine sent me those little pill bottles, and inside the pill bottles would be little capsules with messages. And I thought it was so sweet and cute. And I was like, I'm gonna just share it. I just want to share it. I was like, somebody else could use this or send it to a friend who they can relate to. So it was for me to share with somebody else who may need to see it.
now, I have to say, of all the theme days that you had, the one that I thought stood out most for me was your motivational Mondays. You shared motivational quotes and some motivational messages. Um, how did you come to do that one, Motivational Monday? And where do you get your motivational messages from?
That was actually a requirement from my psychiatrist, was to sit in the mirror and tell myself something positive. And I found it extremely difficult. And I'm like, if I'm finding this difficult to tell myself something positive, I know other people will. And at least I won't feel like I'm doing it alone. Um, I haven't done it in a while. So the mirror got full and I wiped it clean. I need to get back into that. Some people have been asking me to. And the quotes initially started with just things that my psychiatrist sent me. And then it turned into quotes. I would ask people, like, what are they struggling with? And it turned
Right.
into sharing their struggles because they were the exact same as mine. So it made its way on the mirror. And sometimes sitting with those things, even though the record button was off, sitting with those for 10, 15 minutes. Oh, that was hard.
I got to tell you, Amy, through things like Motivational Monday, and just having an Amy Beautiful Disaster video come up and seeing that smile, you are very well loved on here, and your messages resonate with a lot of people.
That's going to make me cry.
Paul wants to know who or what influences your videos as well as your positive attitude.
Ooh, that's a good question. Who or what influences my videos? That's a hard question. I don't really
Thank
have
you.
like one particular person. It just depends on the day. I know I've been doing a lot more clapbacks, and that's to help bring light to other people. So it's really just kind of what sits in me and what I need to get out most of the time. Or if somebody's asked me something, I will share that indirectly because I respect everybody's privacy, so I never call them out in a video saying
Right.
this one's for you because you asked whatever. And my positive attitude, I'm just me. I I really don't. If I sit and think about myself, sometimes I don't feel like I'm so positive, but it's just me. It's the raw me. You guys get the me that my husband gets, which is quite funny.
Well, we like the you that we get, so I got to tell you that. More on a more general note than what was just asked. Do you have anybody on Clapper in general that inspire you?
Yes. Oh my goodness. LD is one of them. She was one of the first people that I met on here. Also Steve, he was so kind and caring when I first came on. And as those two creators have stuck with me. And I thought, oh my gosh, these two large creators are commenting on little old me stuff. So it's it's really powerful. Like, I know the blue check doesn't mean anything, but it's so powerful to have somebody who other people think is a big creator to comment on somebody who may not be. And it it fuels us. It's like so exciting. You guys are like superstars to me, like Tank, you are. I love your motivational stuff and your shout outs to friends. It to me, when I get a comment, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this person's seen me and liked me. And it's definitely an amazing feeling inside.
Want to hear something coincidental? Two of my biggest influences on Clapper since I've been on here, and I've been on here since 2020, are LD Sweets and Steve LUFC Official.
They are
Also,
amazing.
Uncle Timmy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they've been such awesome friends too. Not just they do inspire me every day. Don't get me wrong, but they've been such wonderful friends to me. Even at a time when I questioned if I had any real friends on here, they've always been solid. So I couldn't think of two better people you could have named. So I just thought that, well, how coincidental you named two people that are among my my few inspirations on here.
And they're consistent. Like, it's not just oh, we seen your video and passed by. They're consistent. And there are so many other, like Josie RN, D Vlogs. They're Julie, like, they all show up. And when you're not there, it's those messages that you get when you're not there. Hey, are you okay? We see that you haven't
Right.
posted in a while. Like, it's those comments that make me look up to them and keep going back to their videos and messages and seeing how they are doing. Another one I have to mention is Carrie. Carrie I love her spunk and her attitude and her perseverance to keep going, even though she's going through so much right now. So, you
Carrie
guys,
in England, the redhead.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
she's amazing. She's one of my favorites, beyond a doubt. Um, and staying with the mental health theme for a bit, and I know you've touched on it in some of your videos, so I want to ask you straight out: how important is your physical health to your mental health?
Very important. Eating right, making sure I'm drinking enough water. A lot of you guys will see my cup in most of my videos. I fill this thing up 7 or 8 times a day. It's so important. And there you go.
55-ounce teacup.
So making sure you're eating right. Like I can tell if I'm not eating right that day, I'm going to feel like crap, which is not good. And then getting out and getting physical is so important. I know I have not done that in the past couple of months, which is not good, but getting out, and I know I felt better when I was going to the gym and just getting in a routine. Once you get out of that routine, it's really hard to get back into it. So stick with it. And if you need an accountability person, let me know. I will hold you to the fire.
Absolutely. Something else I want to ask, because is anyone that knows me know this is a huge one for me. For my better mental health, just for my attitude in general. I love being out in the sun, having the sun hit my face. Just being out and, feeling that breeze. I'd say blowing through my hair, but I don't really have any. But just being out, feeling the breeze blowing on me and having the sun in my face makes me feel better no matter what my mood is before I go out and spend some time outside. Does that help you in any way, or is that just a me thing?
No, it helps a lot. Like summertime is my jam. Like I love being out in the sun. I love being on the water, anything, the lake, the beach. I love being in the sun. It may take me a while to force myself because of my mental health to get outside because I will literally isolate inside. And then I'm like, it's nice, Amanda, or Amy, you need to go outside. You need to, and any day is a good day on the lake.
I won't say I don't go out often, but yesterday I decided to go out for a bit just to be outside. And Tabby asked me if I was okay. Apparently, I need to get out a little more than I do. Yes, Lena, I know it's been proven through science, but I still like asking the question of each of individuals. Here's a question I'd like to hear your answer to, because it's a tough one. When you encounter somebody that obviously doesn't know their worth, what do you say? How do you get them to start thinking in those terms of knowing your worth? That's a tough
Anything
one.
and everything positive. I will first listen into their video and kind of debunk pretty much everything they say bad about themselves. Because most people, when they're looking at a video and they stick around for a kind of hard video to watch, they're wanting to understand why you're seeing those things in yourself. And I made many videos where or responses to people debunking everything they say bad about themselves. There was one about a mom who felt guilty because she was going through a divorce and she wasn't making the elaborate meals. She wasn't taking her kids out and she was putting them in front of
Right.
the TV. And it's like, honey, good for you. You are going through the hard part of your life and you're still
Yeah.
waking up. You're still making
Having
sure your kids are fed.
having
And
gone through a divorce, I would say your kids are getting fed. It don't have to be elaborate meals, and kids don't care.
no,
That's one thing. I learned that from my kids. Just putting in effort. I mean, they know, because when you're going through a divorce, so are they. So they already know what's going on. They already know that every day is not going to be a day where you feel like spending 2 or 3 hours in the kitchen making this elaborate meal. Sometimes it's hot dogs or mac and cheese, and plop in front of the TV and veg out.
yep.
That's important too.
That was one of the other things she said, was putting them in front of a TV while she went into another room and cried. And I was like, well, honey, good for you, because you're not allowing your kids to see you break down and cry, and
Right.
you're hearing them giggle. So you're still taking care of them while you're dealing with yourself and pulling yourself back together. So while you may see this not being a good mom, I see it being a great mom because you're
Yeah.
not putting that burden on them. You're making sure they're taken care of while you go take care of yourself in another room. So
You're absolutely right. Now I have to ask you because it was posted up a bit ago. I wanted dirty midget. I did not forget your question. What is your favorite color?
purple, purple.
I don't know how well you know me. Do you know my favorite color? If it helps, I'm wearing it.
Pink.
Yeah. Just thought I'd ask just to see if you knew. I know, like Ronan, for example, could tell you immediately. Hey, Nisi, welcome in. Okay. What is catitude?
It is my mother-in-law sent me this daily catitude. So it's pretty much it's words and then it's a description that you would think a cat would say. I thought it was so cute when she sent it to me and I can relate. Like I think there was one that was like asshole. It was like I'm sharing this. This is hilarious. And being a cat mom, I mean, it just was fitting. They're just fun.
Val, can you clarify that question? She said, when someone asks, who is your purple? I assume it's supposed to be, who do you say? I don't really understand the question. That's what she meant. When someone asks you, who is your purple? Who do you say?
I know some people are yellow is supposed to be a big color of love and inspiration, which yellow and purple were actually my wedding colors. I love yellow too. Yellow's my second favorite. My husband, hands down, my husband. And if I had to pick somebody that's not my husband, I would say it is Care Bear. Caroline, she's not very active over here on Clapper. She's very active on TikTok. But she has been my rock since I started social media 3 years ago, and it was an honor
Right
to have
on.
her down at my house. She's amazing, and so yeah, my husband, and then Care Bear.
Absolutely. That's cool. I know you're a part of the Peep Squad. How did that come about?
That was an invitation to be a part of a group that celebrates people's birthdays and accomplishments, or just making a get well video for whatever they're going through. And I was honored to be asked by Julie and D Vlog to join. And shortly, I would say within less than a half a day, I was asked to be a mod. And now I help create the videos and get people engaged in that, which is awesome. I feel like we all should be celebrated and recognized on those special things that we accomplish, or just even a get well video.
Absolutely.
I love our get well videos because they're funny. Like we're not just sitting here going, "Oh, we hope you get well." We normally put on like a funny filter or do
I
something.
know
So
we
this way
did.
you're laughing.
I know the Peep Squad did a video to just for you. It was for you to make you feel better. And I did send a couple small clips. I don't know if you know, I was invited recently to be part of the Peep Squad as well.
I did.
But it was fun. I made they used two of the little clips I sent for you, but they were fun to do. So it's a really great thing. And I'm all about helping people, doing what we got to do to I love shouting out people on their birthday. I love, it's an accomplishment. I recognize my next milestone for followers is 175,000. I'm less than 10,000 away. I understand most of our followers are bots, but it's still,
It's an accomplishment. It makes you.
it is a
Wow.
milestone. We have a few 400,000 follower users on here, and then there's always Black Spider-Man. I think he still leads everybody on Clapper up close to 600 grand. So that's
Wow.
pretty impressive too. Now, you talked about the importance of being outside. One of the things you mentioned was beaches. So I have to ask you, can you tell us about your Jekyll Island adventure?
I can tell you part of it because I don't want to get into the bad part of it. But
I understand.
it was right after I lost my baby sister. And, oh, it was a forced vacation to go and reflect and take time for myself. That was a hard vacation because I've never taken a me vacation. So I picked some place that I thought looked cool, and my sweet husband booked the reservations for me. And the minute that I got there, I was so nervous to go. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
The minute I got there, I felt kind of scared, but at the same time, peaceful. And going on an adventure by yourself is definitely hard, especially, I know women have a hard time doing that. But what really shocked me and put me at ease was my sister and I called each other jellyfish. And the minute I walked on that beach, there were so many jellyfish. And it felt like she was there with me. And it was a huge healing process. It was hard to be there alone, and to rely on myself and my self-thoughts. I'm so sorry.
Well, like
But
Tim says, and I'll second it. No need to apologize. You're certainly allowed to have your feelings. And again, I didn't intend to make this something to make you tear up.
it's okay. I just hadn't thought about it for a little while, so it's perfectly fine. It's
As you
good
can
tears.
tell, I went all the way back to the beginning of your content and then worked my way forward. So perhaps I should have looked a little more in depth than that before I asked you about it. I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah,
So
tackle a healing journey.
another question. How do you, I mean, other than being on Clapper, how do you entertain yourself?
Ooh,
What do you do? What is fun for Amy Beautiful Disaster?
crafting. I am a huge crafter. I used to, several years ago, had my own little small business. And now I just do it all for fun. I love etching glass, glassware, wine glasses, beer mugs, casserole dishes. I love just making stuff. I make t-shirts. I've done car stickers. I've done so many things. One big thing I did was here where I live, we had a pilot crash, and it was a big deal. And I was so honored that I was asked to make the decals for his helmet to give to his wife, which was a huge honor. And then the Military Wives Club had asked me to do a bunch of wine cups for them for their retreat. And it was just a huge honor. Those are the two biggest things that I've done with my crafting.
I gotta believe the glass etching. There's a market for that right here on Clapper if you was to market yourself doing that. Everybody has a niche when it comes to crafting. There's a lot of people that have crickets. Tabby has one right in this very room. But there's not a lot of people that do glass etching on here. Maybe a couple, but not a lot of them. So there'd certainly be a market for it if you ever decide to go that way. Dirty Carpenter says, we've all done shenanigans. What is one that you did that still makes you laugh?
I would say the most recent one where I surprised my husband. He didn't know that I was recording him. And I asked him, I'm a strange lady at a bar. What would you do? I love playing jokes on him and recording him secretly. I don't post many of them because he doesn't like being on social media, but I'll show it to him and get his permission. But yeah, I'm just a big jokester. I think I do shenanigans all the time.
So Tim wants to know, Amy, what do you do when you don't feel the best?
That's
That's a tough one for me. So
yeah.
take your time on that one.
I wish I had an answer for that. Because unfortunately, when I'm feeling bad, is I will sit in it. I will sit in it and stay in it. And unfortunately, it is hard sometimes to pull yourself out of that. Sometimes I can by doing my crafting. I also diamond paint, which helps kind of relax my mind. But that is a loaded question. I'm not a good person to ask that one to. I have a hard time pulling myself out of dark places, and it normally takes an army to do it.
I have learned in recent months when I'm in that negative place that and I'm not feeling my best, I can turn to Tim, Ronan, and Grace, and Leo, this old man. There's some. I mean, I've got some really wonderful friends on here that can pull me out of it just by conversation. And Ronan is one who routinely checks up on me. So if I go a little quiet on Clapper, I'm going to get a text from Ronan and ask me if I'm okay. You know, that is that's such a huge thing for me, and it helps keep me in a better place mentally. Because I'm not, you know, I know my content reflects a lot of positivity, but nobody's positive all the time.
No.
I'm sure you can say that about that as much as I do. So to have some good people in your corner, I have, and I'm sure you have. You have to be willing to, when you're in that space, reach out to the people that are there for you. That especially if they have a knack for getting you to feel better. You know, all Ronan has to really do is reach out to me, and we start talking music. He knows my taste in music because he plays my taste in music. So that will always be good for me.
I completely agree. I'm unfortunately, when I get into that dark places, I don't reach out. And I'm pretty well at masking it, to the point where I can fool even my husband. And that's not a proud thing. That's a coping mechanism I've picked up. Is I will try to make other people feel better, but I won't reach out. That is my biggest problem. And I'm working on it. Is I don't reach out.
Well, to be fair, I don't fool Tabby. If something's bugging me, she knows immediately. We've been together. We're not married, but we've been together working on coming up on 8 years. And she knows me very well. So there's no getting around her. If something's bugging me, she knows it.
Yeah.
Dirty Carpenter wants to know, what's your favorite scent?
Scent, tropical.
Uh.
Tropical. Pineapples, tropical scents. Nothing floral. I'm not a big floral person, but sweet, tropical, summery. Now, if I'm wanting to relax, like in the bathtub, it's eucalyptus and mints, just because it
That makes
helps
sense.
calm me down. But no rose, no lavender. I'm very much a sweet, tropical
Pineapple,
person.
coconut, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. If you could meet any person and interview them, who would it be and why? I'll add the and why. He didn't ask and why.
On Clapper or just in general?
I think it's probably an in general question. I can make it just on Clapper if you prefer. Or we could do a 2-part on Clapper
Okay.
and in general.
In general, I would want to interview my grandmother on my mother's side. I never got the chance to, well, I had met her, but I don't remember it. But I would love to interview her and understand that side of my life that I don't know. I think that would be maybe a little eye-opening to some of the
Right.
things. If we're talking about people that are alive, it'd be Reba McEntire. because I love her and I would love to hear more about her story of how she became who she is and the choices that she's made in her career, because she went against all odds and posted things about prostitutes and this and that at a time where it
Right.
was taboo. On Clapper, hmm, there's so many.
Lena.
That would be a good one. I would want to interview. Yeah, let's go with Lena. Lena would be a good one to interview. There's like so many. Lena would be a good one to interview.
Yeah, she is. Maya in general, if I could choose anyone to interview, there are two people living I'd love to interview because I'm related to both. That would be the country singer Ronnie Millsap
Wow.
and actor Robert Duvall.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, where Ronnie Millsap was born in Robbinsville, North Carolina, which is a short drive from where I was born, and it's in the mountains. It's yeah, but he's had an interesting story to become the celebrity he is. So, but those, because I am related now, not directly. Like Robert Duvall is my sixth cousin, twice removed, because he was my grandfather's generation. Even though my grandfather was like 15 years older than Robert Duvall, if not more. But I'll get back to the questions. Paul wants to know, if you're on a desert island, what would you take with you and why? If you're going to be stranded or stuck on a desert island.
Sunscreen, because I don't want to get burnt. My husband, because we have so much fun together. And some rum.
Rum?
Rum.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Leave
Vito
behind.
wants
I
to know.
don't need a cell phone. Don't need anything. We can work with clothes off our back. It would be a blast.
Sounds like fun. Vito wants to know, what's your favorite comfort food?
Ooh. My favorite comfort food would be steak. Medium rare. Porterhouse, bone in. We have the sweet potato, butter, cinnamon, brown sugar.
You're making me hungry. All right. Dirty Carpenter says, what's your favorite movie genre?
Suspenseful. Suspense, anything. Horror, action, suspenseful.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Yes, I do. It's actually not a suspenseful movie though. It's The Green Mile.
That's an awesome movie. You could do a lot worse for a favorite than that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My favorite in particular is Tombstone, although I don't generally like Westerns, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But that's always is there a particular kind of music that if you're in a bad mood or a down mood, that can lift you out of it?
It's got to be something with a beat, like a hard, not heavy metal, but close to it.
Right.
Jam, scream song. I listen to all music. My husband says my music is bipolar. You will go from 50s, because I love sock hop music, to today, and everything in between: country, rap, metal, 80s, 90s, all of it.
Your husband would tell me my music's bipolar then. I'm just saying.
Like literally,
Stacy,
when we were going to the store, it went from a country song to a gospel song to a Christmas song to a heavy metal song.
girl after my own heart. I like that. Stacy, who is Sexy Trucker, wants to know, if they made a movie about your life, who would you want to have play you? Welcome in, Knuckles.
Question. I would want, I can picture her face right now, but I cannot put a name to it. Oh, what is her name? Dakota Fanning.
Okay. I
Yeah.
will pretend I know who that is.
She,
I know
she
the
was really
names.
good
That's
as
about
a
it.
child actor, and she's getting back into it now, but the way she portrays emotion
Right.
and yeah, I think she could do it. I think she could
Sorry.
show it's masked and all of it and the pain, and I think she'd be great.
That's not a bad choice. Um, that's an interesting question too. I like that. Um, give me a second here. Okay. Dirty says Gilbert Godfrey would play him, except you don't have his voice.
Oh, if you guys see me looking over, hubby's like eavesdropping in. He's
Well,
listening.
he's welcome to be on camera with you if you want.
You want to come say hi? This is a rare moment. He hardly ever does this.
What's his name?
Chris.
Chris. Just want you to know, we are huge fans of your wife. She's an amazing person, and you're a lucky man.
She is an amazing person.
Oh, that's gonna make me cry too. Dang going. I'm just a ball of emotions sometimes.
I
They
want
all
to touch
sing
on the blue.
high.
I want to touch on the blue check thing. You kind of mentioned it really doesn't mean anything. However, when the blue check creators were commenting and stuff, it does. I mean, it has a little bit of meaning. It's got a lot of meaning for some, a little for others, and it really means nothing for a lot of people. Are you familiar with what's been going on with this old man?
Yes, I have seen
Um,
it.
I would love
It's
to get your
heartbreaking.
take on that. If you watch my content, you know where I stand on it. I believe it was a mistake on the part of Clapper that they need to own up to.
Yeah, 100%. It was a huge mistake. His content has never changed and has stayed consistent. I did not know him before all of this went down. And when I found out about it, I went to his page and I looked at all of his videos. Was like, what's the problem here? Like, he's exactly the same. So I have made it a point that when I find videos that are talking about that, I tag the crap out of Clapper, asking them what the hey, because not giving somebody an explanation for removing something that means so much. Like, blue check creators put time and effort into all their stuff. And that's really showing that they're on here being a community. So it may not mean a whole lot, but it does mean that they are willing and able, and they're doing what they're
Right.
supposed to be doing. So the fact
Here's
that
the thing for
they took
me.
it away from them.
Here's the thing for me. I've known Leo almost the entire time I've been on Clapper, and I don't really remember a time when he wasn't a blue check creator. His content always original. I mean, he was the textbook example of what you do on Clapper if you want to become a blue check verified.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely dumbfounded when he told me they took it because they said his content's not original.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if that's the case, then there's so many other creators that have blue checks where their videos don't seem to be
there's
original.
blue check. There are some blue check creators who use stolen content. Let's be honest about it. There are some, like our good friend LD Sweets. Her content's always original. Nobody can doubt that. What happened? You lose your ring light?
I did. I think I had a cat unplug it.
Well, that happens.
Or it got too hot.
It'll get real dark if I lose mine, so I don't have any other light here on. While you're figuring that
Absolutely.
out, let me take a minute and announce that in 1 week on May the 18th, a very special interview. I'm interviewing Cookie Not Hate. He's Australian. He's a wonderful guy. He's very supportive, and he's got an awesome sense of humor too. I'm really looking forward to that one. Now that I say that every week, and it's true. I am truly blessed with the people that allow me to have them sit so I can ask questions. It's been a blessing all along, and I really do appreciate it. Well, isn't that cute? Well, thank you. Anyway, that's obviously you have your light back. I'm glad for that. Dirty Carpenter asked same question as before, only this time who would play Chris?
Richard Greer.
Richard Gere and Brandon. There's quite an age gap there.
Richard Greer. He's quiet, but sensitive, and has wit about him that others may not catch. And is always rescuing the damsel in distress. So, Richard Greer.
LD, I'll read this now. LD Sweet says the only interview she gave, Clapper and me.
Oh, this is the first one I've ever done.
Well, it's been very informative. Welcome in, Diana or Deanna. I always say it wrong. I know she's from Greece, though, and I know she's also said either way it's fine. And is she one of the people that started the Peep Squad?
Yes. It was originally her, Julie, and Rockin' Robin.
Okay.
Those were the three that created it. I just helped.
I like the idea. I love the idea of it. And I've really got to do a better job of staying on top of who needs videos for what, because I missed one birthday from yesterday. And Deanna says you created it with them.
Aw. I mean,
So,
I came in at the very beginning, and I've helped with my expertise and what I think is good. So they're the creators. I just help support them. I love them so much.
I think you all deserve credit. It's a wonderful thing. I'm happy to see it on there. Support, it's Clapper creators supporting other creators, celebrating birthdays and accomplishments, and lifting them up. And when they're having their rough times too. It's a wonderful thing that you guys do, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
And the best thing is it's a secret. So you can join, and we don't advertise who all is there. So it's really special. And it's not just the people that are in the group. Like, we will go, especially like for birthdays, we will do our best to investigate and research like who your friends are and see if we can get them to participate too. So it's pretty awesome. It's a great way to meet new people as well.
Chuck, Danny, and Nixon, you're awesome and very much appreciated as well. Just want you to know that. Dirty Carpenter says, who's given you the best piece of advice in your opinion, and what was it? And that's a really good question, Dirty.
My psychiatrist. And it was to love yourself the way that you want to be loved. Which I don't do a good job at it, but it's definitely that. It's love yourself the way that you want to be loved. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make that step forward.
Absolutely. And it's important. So you got to love yourself if you want people to love you. I mean, that's kind of important there, and it does, that becomes a contagious thing too. I have to say, if you love yourself, then things become more positive just in nature. And then that reflects when you're being social, for example, come on to Clapper. If you're in a good headspace, it's going to be immediately obvious to the people that you hang out with on Clapper, and it's going to improve their mood as well. So it's a contagious. Excellent advice. I can't stress how important self-love is, because it's one of the things I struggle most with.
Yeah, me too. Hey, Good Vibe
So
Tribe. Good Vibe Tribe is also another group that I'm a part of, and they're phenomenal. And
it's
they're
Good Vibe
doing,
Tribe, the one that was doing the clapback attacks.
yes. So the Good Vibe Tribe, there's a core 4 people that started it, and what they're all about is uplifting a creator one clap back at a time. So a large group of us will go to their page, select a video, and every Monday we'll post several clapbacks to that particular creator. So when they wake up Monday, whether they're having a hard time or needing something, they wake up to all these beautiful notifications to let them know that they are loved, they are missed, they are valued, they are worthy of everything. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I really like that as well, and I'm friends with a few people that are part of the Good Vibe Tribe. I love what they do. I love the things that you involve yourself with. You are such a positive person. You know, I know not everybody's positive all the time, but when you're here, you are positive. You're always smiling, and that it's infectious. People can't hang around Amy Beautiful Disaster and be in a bad mood. Not on Clapper.
I Clapper puts me in a better mood, and sometimes it's hard to log on. But when I do, immediately I feel the difference. I start smiling. I start going to other people's videos, and it just immediately is contagious for me. And it does. It reflects who you're around. If you're only watching doom and gloom videos, maybe you're not so happy all the time. But um, you guys make a big difference.
So Dirty asked another question. He says, "What has been your most self-fulfilled, proud moment?" Thank you for the gift.
Pulling myself and getting myself out of the situation I was in as a kid. Having the strength to leave a physically, sexually abusive situation, especially when it's your own family, is hard. And taking that power back is difficult. That was one of the first ones. And the second one was learning that those things that happened to me weren't my fault. And
Absolutely.
several years ago, my mother tried to steal my identity. And one of the hardest things I had to do was make the decision to go down and press charges and face the person that I was most terrified of. I think those are my proudest moments. They're the hardest ones, but those are the most proudest moments that I can't believe I did those. And I did it. Nobody else did, but I did.
And you come out stronger for it. It's hard to go through what you went through. I get that, but I salute you, because you are, you believe it or not, you are an inspiration to a lot of people on here.
That means
And if you're anything like me, you don't see it.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I don't.
I want to tell you what Grace H. Wrights and Tim Lazenby told me. I really wish you could see yourself through my eyes the way I see you. You are truly an amazing person, which is one reason I ask you to be one of my guests. There are some really wonderful people on this app. There's some really horrible people on this app too, but I don't deal with them. The block button is a godsend for that. But there's some truly wonderful people on this app, and you are absolutely one of the most wonderful I've ever met.
Thank you so much. Oh, that is so sweet. I like you said, I don't see that I make a difference or that I'm impactful in anybody's life. I just show up and do the best I can.
Believe me when I tell you, you absolutely are impactful. You are an inspiration to a lot of people. Embrace that. See, maybe not all day long, but take a minute when you can and try to see yourself the way so many of us see you. Imagine seeing yourself the way LD Sweet sees you. because she's a straight shooter. And if she says you're an amazing person, guess what? You are truly an amazing person.
I cannot thank you all, like, seriously enough. This has been very heartwarming.
I'm giving Castile the last question because it is 4 o'clock. It's been an hour. He says, how do you exercise small breaks in sanity in public places to laugh?
Oh, how do you small breaks? Oh, in public places, like for instance, this afternoon, when I feel like I'm gonna go crazy, my husband will put his arm around me and kind of just walk with me. If I'm by myself, I will have an earbud in, jamming out. There will be always a song in my head, always, which my husband says it finds it funny because any situation or any feeling that I'm feeling, I can put it to a song. It's crazy.
I call that, I say that as me having a soundtrack to my life, because every moment of my life that's had any meaning, I guarantee you there's a song attached to it.
That was beautiful, by the way. I've never seen that before. That was so pretty.
All right, Amy, it's been an hour. You made it through, and it was a really great time. I appreciate you asking the questions and answering the questions, even though one or two that might have been a little tougher than you anticipated. That was not my intention, but I appreciate that you took the time. And believe me when I tell you, you inspire me. I'm quite sure you inspire many of my friends as well. Keep doing what you do. You are well loved on here for a reason.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. Even the hard questions, they're hard to talk about, but they're good to talk about. They're important
Right.
to talk about. And I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful and honored that all of you guys showed up and all your questions, and I hope that you guys got to know me a little bit better.
I take my hat off to the Good Vibe Tribe and the Peep Squad. You guys, what you do is a truly amazing thing. My thank you to Paul for being the screen recorder again. Paul, I couldn't do the things that I do without your help, brother. It means a lot. And thank you all for being here, helping me to question Amy and helping me to let her know what a truly an amazing person she is. And it's an honor to be your friend. And with that, you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys around Clapper.